All right, so our keynote speaker and the she hustler herself, Miss Jane Vaden Thacher, is the president and dealer operator of Vaden Automotive, a car dealership that excels in all aspects of the business, ranging from vehicle sales and service to customer satisfaction. Vaden Automotive is home to one of the largest wholesale parts operation in the Southeast region and employs over 600 people in Southeast Georgia, coastal South Carolina, Alabama, and has expanded into several non-dealership related enterprises. This company has achieved awards on awards on awards. And on top of being the boss, she is also married to Peter Thacher for the past 26 years and has an 18-year-old son and twin 17-year-old daughters and 3 Portuguese water dogs. Aren't those the dogs that Obama have? I think those are the Obama dogs, right? That is awesome. She is an avid runner and runs 40 miles a week without any more notice or without any more delay. Miss Vaden Thacher.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I honestly do wish that we were all able to be together, but I'm so excited that we can be experiencing this in this way, because I think that at least what I've heard so far is really valuable, and I've gotten a lot out of the 2 ladies who spoke just a few moments ago. So thank you for that. I have to say that when I received the invitation to share with this group, I was a little bit surprised, because when I think of the Creative Coast, I think about techie people and artsy people, and I've got to tell you, I am neither one of those. So I am very excited to get to speak with some of you. And I will say it's just kind of funny, because although I am not talented in any of the ways that some of you that I'm seeing your chats with graphic design and other things, I do actually, as part of our operation now, we do have a team of those folks, and we do all our marketing in-house now with digital and design and creative. And we actually do have a software company now that writes automotive software that we use in our company and in others. But when I was thinking about sharing with this group of women and talking about women in business, and particularly from my perspective, I am in a historically and still currently very, very male-dominated business. And being a woman, people ask me all the time, what's it like to be a woman in the car business? And it's funny, because I don't see myself as a woman in the car business. I see myself as a car guy. And what I mean by that is I don't know how to fix them. I don't understand really how they work. I can't even operate half the gizmos on my current car that I drive. But I'm a car guy because I relate to my team of people in a way that helps them be able to perform their jobs at the highest level. I think that my superpower is really being able to lead people and inspire people to do things they didn't think they could do. And for us, we're in a very performance-driven business. It's every month we start over. You go from hero to zero every 30 days. And it's strictly production, whether it's sales, whether it's service, whether it's parts, and to be able to keep everyone pulling in the same direction, I think is what has made me successful over the years. I was very, very blessed to have an opportunity to come into this business. And I started, I didn't really have a choice, and I didn't think it was a benefit when I was 13 years old and my father told me it was time to go to work. So I worked in the business, answering the phone and filing and doing all those things. And then as I got older, my biggest goal in life was to go off to college, to go somewhere where no one had ever heard the word Vaden before. And I wanted to go and do my own thing. And so I went to school at Vanderbilt in Nashville. I have a very hard-earned degree in English. And after that, went to graduate school in marketing and public relations. Back in the dark ages, before we were doing all the technological things, you know, it was pre-cell phone and pre-digital and pre-internet and all those things. But I actually worked for a really large, at the time it was the 5th largest public relations firm in the country, doing consumer and food marketing. So my first job as a grown-up was branding and marketing the Georgia peach farmers. So that included everything from writing press releases and brochures to submitting recipes to Good Housekeeping and all of that, to dressing up in a peach costume and standing on the highway and during rush hour in Atlanta when the Today Show was filming on location. So I had some really fun experiences, but the point of all that is my childhood dream was not to be a car guy. My childhood dream was not to run this business. And I ended up here primarily, I always thought it was fun and I loved the people. And I was always around it as a kid because in a family business, that's just how it works. But career goals never really took it seriously until, well, my father was the best salesperson ever, because he somehow convinced my husband and I that we wanted to move back to Savannah and we wanted to go to work for him. And so we did. And I took to the business like it was the most natural thing in the world for me. And I had some very specific goals. I was naive enough not to realize how hard it was going to be a woman in a male-dominated industry. Didn't really cross my mind that was going to be an issue. And so I just plunged forward. I had enough challenges because when you come into a business and you're the boss's kid, so no one respects you right off the bat for that. You're younger than just about everybody there, and they've known you since you were a little girl, and they say things to you when you try and give them direction, and they tell you to go back and play with your Barbie dolls, and those types of things. So I had all of these different dynamics going on, and being a woman was the least of my worries, quite honestly. But I learned as I grew in the business and learned finance and learned sales and on and on and on, I learned that I was different because I am a woman. And when I got into the business, the only women you would find in a car dealership were in the accounting office. And as I said, I was an English major. So there was absolutely zero danger of me ever working in the accounting office. It was not going to happen. So over the years, I recognized that we were severely lacking. Women make and have, for as long as I can remember, women either influence or make most of the major purchase decisions in a household. And car dealers traditionally have overlooked that. And we have, most dealers have the majority of their salespeople are men. and the majority of the people who write service are men. And I quickly realized that we were not addressing most of our customer base with someone that they understood and they wanted to talk to. So now, today, we have, as you heard, we have about 600 employees. We have just over 100 managers out of that 600, and a full third of my managers are females. There's probably not another dealership group around that could say that. Out of I have, say, 12 top managers that are on my leadership team that are my right hands, and half of them are women. That's unheard of in our business. In total, a third of my entire company of 600 people, a third of us are female. So we have women in every role throughout the company. And I remember the first time, it was probably back in the late 90s when I had an opening for a service manager at our Nissan dealership. And we always, and my father was the same way, we always like to promote from within and grow our people. And so I promoted our lead service advisor to the job. And I thought that was a no-brainer for me. Well, she was a woman, and that had never been done. You didn't have female service managers. And so I got the phone call from my father's secretary that he wanted to see me. And he was dumbfounded that I had done this. And he told me that women can do most jobs, but that you just can't have a female service manager. The technicians would just terrorize this person, and it just would never work. And it took a lot to tell my father he was wrong, because he was rarely wrong. But in this case, I told him that he was wrong, and I turned around and I marched back down the stairs. And today, that woman is the director of all of our parts and service departments, over 10 dealerships. And just to give you a scale on that, we fix roughly 86,000 cars a year in our service departments, and we sell somewhere around 28 million parts. And she is responsible for all of that. So I say that, and I have many other examples that are similar to that. But I found that over the years, one of my greatest joys is being able to mentor, especially women, but really anyone. And one of the greatest things about the business that I'm in is, in my mind, it's one of the few businesses left that somebody, regardless of their education level, regardless of their background, you can change their life if they're willing to work hard and do business the right way. They can be super successful in our company. And that is one of the most rewarding parts of my job, quite honestly. I love what I do every day. I don't necessarily have to do this anymore. I've been at it for a long time, but I love the people I work with, and I have just this incredible opportunity. When I started, my father had 3 dealerships, and one of my goals was to acquire my own dealership without his help at a younger age than he acquired his first dealership. So he was 40 when he got his dealership, and I was determined I was going to beat that. And I'll tell you what, if I'm perfectly honest with myself, part of the reason I was able to do that is because I am a woman. And it's such an unusual thing for a woman to be running a business in this male dominated industry that I got an opportunity for seats at the table that I might not have gotten otherwise. And I got to meet a lot of folks at General Motors and at Nissan, and I got to open a lot of doors. And so I was able to convince General Motors that Savannah needed not one, but two Chevrolet dealerships. And finally, after about 2 years of lobbying and stating my case and working with them, they awarded me a second dealership. And timing is everything, because when they did, they gave me a deadline on when that dealership had to be operational in order to comply with my dealer agreement. And that was June of 2001. Well, I was pregnant with twins who were born at the very end of March of 2001. And I had a 18-month-old at home. And I had I was running 2 dealerships at the time and then opening my own, which is wonderful when you get this amazing opportunity to start a business from scratch, which I did. But that also means that you're starting a business from scratch, and you have to build your team and get your facility ready and all the things. And so I did that as I took 1 week off when I had the twins, and went back to work, and we got it done. And just an interesting time period where you challenge yourself so much. And at that point, I was bringing my kids to work, because what else are you going to do with newborns and an 18-month-old? And when you talk about family business, we are the epitome of a family business, because our children have lived here and worked here and still do that. And having your team see all of you, having your team know you as a real human being with the same kind of issues that they have and the same things that are going on, I think means a lot. And people will go the extra mile to perform for you and to do their best for you and not to let you down. And that's really, those are the kind of things that over the years have made me successful. It's the fact that I had very serious goals. I was determined that I was going to take the opportunity that I was so blessed to have, that a lot of people never get, but I wasn't going to be satisfied with it. I was going to do it justice, because I was going to grow it, and I was going to make it more than when I started, so that hopefully at least one of my 3 kids will want to continue it. And I want it to be the best it can be if they do decide to do it. If they don't, that's okay too, because it's been a wonderful blessing for me. But I've always had whatever the goal is at that time that I stayed focused on. And I've always known that my success is 100% dependent on the people that I work with. And really, that's how, to me, that's how you start a business, that's how you build a business, and that's how you keep a business successful. So I hope that helps. It's been for me, it's such an incredible honor and an opportunity for me to be able to lead these 600 people that we are responsible for them feeding their families every week. It's awesome.